Have you ever wondered what it's like to live in a river town? Well, today, Molly and I are going to break down not one, not two, but 3 different riverfronts in the Evansville, Indiana area.
We are the Angel team and we cover all things living real estate in Southwestern Indiana. So be sure to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our future content.
Okay, so today we are going to break down 3 different riverfronts in our area, and we are going to start with the Newburgh riverfront, which is actually to the east of Evansville and is a beautiful community in itself, but the riverfront is just gorgeous. So.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite places to take a walk with friends and family. So it's got at least 4 miles of walking trails. You can start at the beginning at the Gene Arn trailhead. There's a parking lot there that's really convenient, and when you start on that part of the path, you actually get to go over a really cool covered bridge. It's got lots of trees, and then you can, as soon as you get through that area, then you've got a beautiful view of the riverfront, and then you can kind of take a left, and that takes you just all the way past the riverfront and all of the shopping that's downtown, all the restaurants that are downtown, and just all the beautiful landscaping. They really do a great job of keeping the flowers pretty and the view. You usually have a barge coming by because you're really close to the Newburgh Dam there.
Right.
So if you want to live in that area, you have condos are a big option down there. There's lots of beautiful homes that overlook the riverfront. It's not necessarily the cheapest area to live in, but you're paying for the view and just all of the stuff that is available there. So let's talk a little bit about the restaurants that are down there.
I think probably my go-to down there is for coffee and a snack, Honeymoon Coffee. I
Yes.
absolutely love their acai bowls and, of course, getting some caffeine to keep us going throughout the day.
Yes, and we actually then have 2 Mediterranean options as well. Cafe Zoo has been down there for years and just is delicious. If you are looking for a burger, they have the new burger there, and it's really good, but they have, usually on the weekends, they have specials, and they just have been a mainstay in the area. And then we're getting a new Mediterranean restaurant, which will be actually right on the riverfront. You'll have a balcony that's overlooking the river, and it's going to be called Merida, and hopefully we'll be opening soon.
Awesome.
So yeah. Other than those 2 options, you have Cleo's Bakery. I have lots of great desserts and sandwiches and stuff like that. And then not too far away from the riverfront, you could actually just walk there. It's a seasonal favorite, and it's the ice cream shop called Rivertown. So we like that one as a family because they have great ice cream.
So plenty of options to walk around, and you don't necessarily have to drive from place to place. You can kind of just enjoy the evening. And
yes, and there's lots of events down there. So there's the Old Dam, and in that area there's also the amphitheater. There's a wine festival every spring. We have a strawberry festival around Memorial Day. So that's a great area. You can actually even rent the Old Dam as a facility. I've been to showers, baby showers, wedding showers and stuff there. And then as you continue on, that's the Old Dam area. Then in the new dam area, there's a great playground. So I used to take my kiddos there when they were little, and they loved the big slide that was down there and everything. So options for kids to play, walk, run, and all that. So
yeah, and the dam's really cool too, to just kind of, there's an overlook on that walking path as well that you can actually look down and watch the barges go through, and just a really neat thing. Not a lot of people have the ability to see something like that.
Yes,
so.
I actually just saw somebody else post on Facebook the other day. Since we live here, I think we kind of just take it for granted how beautiful it is.
Yeah.
Because she was actually walking down there, and there was somebody from England that was visiting, and they asked her to take a picture. And when they handed the camera back to her, she handed the camera back to them, they said, "Gosh, you just live in a beautiful place." Yeah. So I do think it's easy for us to just take for granted that we have that beautiful space to walk and enjoy. There's actually even a little secret garden. When you're down there, you got to keep your eye open for it. Some people have some private property that they've landscaped beautifully and actually have just nicely opened it up to the public, and you can go down there. It's a prayer garden, but some people use it to take prom pictures and things like that. So you have to check it out. So now moving on to our second riverfront, we'll cover the Evansville riverfront, which is definitely the biggest of the 3. It's the main area of town. This area has so much to offer, we could talk about it forever, but we'll try to keep it short for you.
So it is, obviously the south end of Evansville, and really Riverside Drive is the road that runs right along the riverfront here. But we'll probably talk a lot about Main Street as well, because it literally tees into Riverside Drive and just is really where a lot of these activities and things happen in the downtown area. So I think first we probably should just start with the walking path.
Okay, yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful area to walk. A lot of people that work downtown take advantage of it during their lunchtime. Also in the evening, because you've got beautiful sunsets and all that. You can watch the boats go by, you can watch the barges go by. So yeah, it's just a beautiful area to run or walk and spend some time down there.
So our walking path is actually called the Greenway Passage, and it is over 6 miles long. So it starts in downtown Evansville at the riverfront and goes all the way up Heidelbach by Garvin Park. So there's a pretty long stretch there. There's a lot of bike riders or skateboarders as well. But you'll see runners, walkers, and a little bit of everything there. So there's plenty of spots along the way to park and get out and enjoy that. But it does start on the riverfront. So it's a pretty wide trail as well. So I think it's about 10 foot wide.
Yeah.
So you have plenty of room to pass others and you're not super congested on this. But you will definitely, on a nice evening, see a ton of people out enjoying the river views and just being active.
Yeah.
So
on the way you pass, there's the pagoda down there. There's the Evansville Museum. It has some different sculptures and different things out there. So yeah.
And plenty of park benches and stuff too if you need to take a break or just want to enjoy the view. And also I feel like we have to mention the skate park. It's pretty cool, and it is the largest skate park in Indiana. 27,000 square feet of skate park area. So it's pretty darn cool, but is good for both skateboards and bicycles.
Yeah, my son is a skateboarder, so we frequent the area. It feels really safe down there. I feel like they've done a great job of keeping the area safe, and my son just loves to hang out there. I think he would be there every weekend if he could. So it has definitely been a good draw to the area. And like she said, even little kids hang out there. I helped a little girl learn how to ride her bike for the first time one time when I was down there. So
everybody seems so friendly.
Yes.
Ready to help. My little guy got stuck in the bowl, and one of the guys jumped in there and helped him get his bike out, and everybody's just so super helpful. And
yes,
they're not annoyed by the little ones coming, but they also kind of look up to the big ones that are there, and it's just a really cool environment to take the kids. So
and sometimes you can luck out and there's a food truck parked in the parking lot. So
yeah,
and then right next door to it is Mickey's Kingdom.
Right.
So
and that is a huge playground. I think that one is over 21,000 square feet. And it is actually made of all recycled material, which is pretty cool.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. So this is a handicap accessible playground as well. So it is very all-inclusive, but they have everything you could imagine in this playground. It is very nicely set up as well. You also find the world's tallest solar community tree in Mickey's
You're telling
Kingdom.
me all kinds of things I didn't even know.
It's a pretty cool fact. So yeah, Mickey's Kingdom is something, if you have littles, you'll definitely want to check out because it's a pretty unique playground.
Yeah, and so earlier she mentioned Main Street, and there's like so much to cover when it comes to Main Street because that's definitely where all the restaurants, the shopping, all of that's available. When you hit restaurants, you've got Comfort by Cross-Eyed Cricket, you've got Jimmy John's if you need fast food, but there's also Piece of Cake for desserts. There's River City Coffee if you need coffee while you're there. Gosh, what else is there food-wise?
Angelo's is one of my favorite, especially at lunchtime. Their pizza to go is really awesome. It's like these huge slices of pizza, but then they turn into more of a formal dining restaurant at night, which is pretty cool. So
yeah,
Subway is also down there as well as a quick option.
Yeah, so I feel like there's stuff that we're missing.
Yeah, there's all kinds of things on Main Street, and you'll see every once in a while a new thing pop up. Insomnia Cookies is down there as well.
That's right. Yeah.
So plenty of options, and it's super convenient if you are on the riverfront to just hop over Riverside Drive and walk Main Street. It's all within walking distance, and you can kind of enjoy the area.
I guess also within walking distance, one of my favorite restaurants down there is Brew Burger, which is in the old Greyhound facility. So it's got a cool atmosphere to check out. But also shopping wise in that area, I know my daughter and I, we like to hit 6th and Zero, which is like natural skincare. They have a great bulk area of like granolas and different stuff like that. I also like to hit Emerald Design because they've got great plants, and I'm a plant person, so we hit that up. And there's also a cute little stationery store down there. You said there's a boutique and all that.
Yeah.
So.
And then I feel like we have to mention that Signature School is down on Main Street as well. So if you are out at lunchtime, you might notice that there's quite a few teenagers out getting lunch, and that is because Evansville Signature School is down on Main Street. And then also the Victory Theater and the Ford Center. So lots of concerts and events down on Main Street. So it's really just a happening spot.
Yeah, event-wise, there's always, it seems like almost every weekend there's probably a 5K going on to fundraise for somebody. There's seasonal events. I know I took my daughter down there for a Christmas event where she sang in the choir. And I know there's wine events in the evenings and all that, probably some car shows too. So
yeah,
there's always something happening down there. So if you're looking to live in the area, there's lots of options when it comes to that too.
Yeah, there's plenty of condos, especially on Main Street there above the businesses. There's a lot of condos there, just pretty good variety of price points too.
Yes.
I feel like some of them are more affordable.
Definitely.
But there are some higher end options as well there on Main Street. And then, you know, getting off of Main Street just within walking distance, there's other condo options down there as well.
I know we had one listed for a little bit, and it actually had like a putting course on the top of the roof and a nice area to sit out there and enjoy the river view, which was really cool.
And then also too, when it comes to housing, especially along Riverside Drive, there is a ton of historic homes.
Yes.
And I'm talking beautiful. A lot of them have been, you know, renovated over the years, and they just are gorgeous. And a lot of those come with a river view. So the price point is a little higher, but of course you get that beautiful view and just a beautiful home as well.
Yeah, and if you follow our channel, you've probably heard us talk about Haney's Corner. It's just off of the riverfront. You could go within walking distance and be in Haney's Corner. That's a whole other area of restaurants that we haven't even covered. But there's just so much available when you talk about the Evansville riverfront.
So getting back down more on Riverside Drive, we also have a couple more venues, I guess, so to speak. So we have Bally's, which is the local casino. And in Bally's, not only do you have the casino and, you know, all the gambling options, but you have the Tap House, which is a restaurant in the casino, so you actually have to walk all the way through to the back. And then you also have Kavanaugh's, which is a higher end steakhouse, and it overlooks the river.
It's like if you've got a wedding or an anniversary or a special event to celebrate, that's the place. Yes, somewhere where you're going to dress nice, have one of those like multi-course dinners, and overlook the riverfront. It's kind of
yeah, it's definitely more of a, you know, intimate setting.
Yes,
you know, something you want to dress nice for, and just, you know,
kind
of have a special occasion there. Also, Bally's has plenty of event space, and they do have a hotel there as well. There are weddings out in the courtyard, and just plenty of space for, you know, all the events and conventions and that kind of thing as well. And then also the LST is right there on the riverfront as well. So
there's a lot to talk about there too. It's a historical ship. Evansville was actually known for in World War II that we built LST ships here. So we had a really important part in the World War II history here. And so that ship is docked here, and it's just great to explore and see the history. I went there for a field trip with my daughter last year, learned a lot of stuff, and it's cool to check out.
Yeah, and they have like a little museum up towards the road that you can go through and kind of see some of the memorabilia and just learn more about it. But then it's very common for field trips, and I think sometimes during the summer they have it open, you know, to tour and different events on there as well.
Yeah.
A couple other things that happen on the riverfront would be like the Shriners Fest. That's a big event in the summer. They also do the fireworks. You can actually go down and sit on the riverfront and watch the 4th of July fireworks, which is a pretty big event. So.
Yes. One thing we didn't cover when we were talking about living in the downtown area is one thing you definitely want to do whenever you're looking at where to live is the first thing is you want to get pre-approved. So we want to thank Paul Castrip for sponsoring this video. He works with Mortgage Masters. Reach out to him and he can get you pre-approved. That way we know, what your price range is that we could be looking at, and we can help you find your perfect spot on the riverfront.
All right, so now we are moving even farther west to Mount Vernon, Indiana, and we are going to talk about their riverfront as well. And I would say it's safe to say this one's a more low-key, more relaxing type setting versus like the Evansville hustle and bustle, and even Newburgh's more busy than I feel like Mount Vernon is, but they still do have a good amount of events there as well.
Yes, this one is nostalgic for me because I grew up in Mount Vernon, so our kind of weekly routine in the summer was we'd go get ice cream and then we'd drive to the riverfront and park there and watch all the boats go by. So.
Yeah, you always see barges going by and boats. But they do have an actual boat ramp that is available to the public with a dock, so you're able to, put a boat in. And then they have a good amount of trailer parking as well. So if you're a boater and just looking for a convenient boat ramp to put your boat in, this is an easy place to do that at no charge. So just a cool little perk. But they also have a playground right there at the riverfront with some swings and slides and even like a little climbing structure, but then also the pavilion that, you'll see people having lunch at and just hanging out for the day. And then also the amphitheater is pretty cool. And the Parks Department actually puts on movie nights throughout the summer, and you'll see people out there just kind of hanging out and watching a movie, and it's pretty neat.
Yeah, as a kid, I always enjoyed going to the fireworks display every year, and they still continue to do that.
Yeah.
So it's always a good show. And then coming up soon, that happens every year, is the River Days. So there's usually like a car show, there's vendors, food trucks, different things like that. And then there's the parade, which you can always see us at. This will be our 3rd year participating in the parade, so we're looking forward to that as well.
Yeah, it's always a fun time to just walk through and see everybody and wave and say hi. So if you see us, make sure to say hey. We also have some dining opportunities as well. Three Chicks Fudge is down on Main Street, which is right there at the riverfront. And if you have never tried their fudge, it is amazing. But they also have some cute little trinkets and Mount Vernon memorabilia in there, and just
do they still do the donuts as well?
So the donuts are actually for their trailer, which on Saturday this past week, they had the trailer out in front of the storefront.
Okay.
And so we went and hit them up before they closed for the morning, and the donuts are to die for. So if you ever see Three Chicks Fudgery trailer out, you definitely want to stop and grab you some donuts. They so
definitely
good.
They get around the area, because I know they do the farmers markets and different things. So they're not known just in Mount Vernon, they're known in the whole area.
So you definitely want to follow Three Chicks Fudgery on Facebook, because that's where they announce where they will be with the trailer. But they do have a home store, and that is on Main Street right there by the riverfront, and you can always pop in there. They even have ice cream too in the store as well, so a good little spot to check out. But we also have Maria's Restaurant as well, which is a Mexican restaurant, and is super good as well. You can't go wrong. So if you're looking for more of a dinner option, I would definitely suggest checking out Maria's, which is our local Mexican restaurant on Main Street, within walking distance of the riverfront. But basically any Mexican dish you could ask for is there. Tacos, enchiladas, chips and dip.
I was gonna say salsa.
Salsa, yeah. They do have salsa, and it's really good there. Margaritas, the whole 9 yards at Maria's. It's a great place to stop in for lunch or dinner if you are hungry. So another thing I think we should talk about is the square in Mount Vernon, which is literally just a skip away from Main Street there. It actually part of it runs on Main Street.
Yes.
But let's see, we have the courthouse.
The courthouse is just kind of an iconic courthouse. It's beautiful. They've got really pretty landscaping in that area. So
we also have the Coliseum, which is a pretty old building that's just really unique and beautiful. The Hovey House is where the prosecutor's office is, and they have the public meetings there, and it's an older building as well.
Yes.
And then the post office is a pretty cool one. It's just so small town feel down there in that area, and it is always landscaped so beautifully. So definitely just a great place to just park the car and walk not only Main Street, but maybe the square, and then down at the riverfront as well. I think it's important to mention that in the summertime, the riverfront also has the splash pad for kids.
Yeah.
So you can go down there, there's a little button within the landscaping you hit, and the kids can run through there and play. And I know when my kids were little, we would take buckets, down there, and they would just have a blast. Running around there, and you kind of get that beautiful scenery while you're watching the kids play, and get to watch the river and the barges go by.
And throughout the summer too, they have food truck nights
as
well.
Yeah. You can always hit up the food trucks. But then they also, if you walk down kind of east along the river there, they have the Azalea Path, which is a beautifully landscaped walking path. And it's just so beautiful. Everybody who is on that committee just does such a great job keeping up with landscaping and just making it a very beautiful area. So it might not be as big of a hustle and bustle as the other two riverfronts we've talked about today, but it definitely does not lack the beautifulness that you would expect within a riverfront. Okay, so as far as housing goes in the downtown riverfront area there in Mount Vernon, there is some apartment type building down there that has several units, but then also we have some beautiful homes that are overlooking the river as well. Not a ton of options, so if they do come on the market, you better snag them quick, but there are some beautiful options down there as far as housing goes.
So now that we've talked about all three riverfronts, make sure you leave in the comments below. Tell us what riverfront would be the perfect fit for you, because each one kind of has a different lifestyle. Each one kind of hits a different demographic of who would like to live there. So tell us where you would like to live and what sounds the best to you. And Also, always don't forget to subscribe to us. We have weekly content, so hit that subscribe button, and thanks for watching.
See you later.